Hello and welcome to some live play session with 2NL as part of a Bankroll challenge. Bankroll challenge being $50 to 1,000. As you can see, we have 46 plus the 4 on the table. So I think we're just going to jump straight in. Oh, that's a bit loud. Let's take that down a bit. So, as you can see, I have no HUD, which is not for lack of trying. Try to resurrect my Poker Tracker 4, and I have issues with the database, so probably get that sorted some point down the line. I've done a couple of bankroll challenges in the past, but I figured might as well make some videos because it seems to be quite popular at the minute given lockdown. So just thinking about my button open size is probably going to be a min raise. Probably going to be a min raise on the button and 2.5x every other position apart from the small blind, which will be 3x. It's been a while since I've played 2NL. A couple of years ago, I think I was winning about anywhere between 8 to 10 BBs per 100. Obviously, it's very soft, but players are getting a lot better now. I have a lot of people, well, a lot more information in the game being closer to being solved. So the last bankroll challenge I done was back whenever, I'm just going to fold here in table 1. I don't really think he should have a leading range here, but ABC style poker just completely crushes at 2NL, so there's no point in getting out of line. But the last bankroll challenge I done was back when Poker Stars had a poker school, and you were able to make blogs, and they had weekly and monthly tournaments. It was very well done. But now, I don't know what happened. They got rid of it. Queen 8 suited here with the pot odds. Definitely be calling. And King 8 suited small blind. I think bend third with range on this texture makes sense. Got shot 1 over backdoor flush draw. I think I'm just gonna fold. The king 8 suited, I think I'm just gonna let it go as well. Pocket jacks in table 1. I think you can go either way. I think calling is the best given the range from under the gun, because if we 3-bet, he 4-bets, we're in an awful position. Let me see. Oh, okay. Interesting size. Maybe watch this play out. I find that I spend about 90% of the time just labeling fish. I also have an RNG down here, which suggests some sort of GTO play, but it's not. It's mainly frequencies. three betting frequencies. I think it just keeps me in line because if I'm not using some sort of RNG, I just get out of line when it comes to three betting, especially button versus cutoff, small blind versus cutoff or button. Queens is just going to be a three bet and then fuck your life whenever he four bets. Uh, Generally speaking, this is a really bad flop for our range and a pretty decent flop for his range. He has all sets in his range, and we don't. So we'll start off with a check. But you can bet it. It's a reasonable bet as well. Well, it makes life a bit easier. Not gonna lead, although I think leading's fine. So let's see. I think he thinks our hand looks a lot like ace king, maybe an 8x, 8-7 suited, 8-6 suited. I think we ever go big or small here, like a block bet or a big bet. I think we go big. Yeah. Ace jack here. I think this goes like this. And I don't bother cashing out. I think if you're cashing out, you shouldn't be playing the stakes. But I do run it twice, quite a lot. Actually, any given the chance, always. Um, yeah, I think just a normal size three bet here. The rake's fairly high at this stake, so a lot of players, the strategy seems to be three bet or fold most of the time. And I would say that even though it is low stakes, the fold to three bet is quite high, given the meta in that people are always waiting for good hands. So when they three bet, a lot more respect is given to the three better. Oh, we already have a spot on table one. I think, I think four betting here makes sense with king queen. Yeah. Pocket sevens. I think I'm just gonna let it go here. Seen Charlie Carroll started his own Bankroll challenge. I think he's close to the end, and he started, I think, at 2-0, perhaps 5-0, and he was talking about 5 million hands. No, sorry, 2 million hands. So you can imagine how long these challenges take. I think his bankroll, he's trying to build it up to 10,000. I think he's halfway there. Obviously, mine's just being 50 to 1,000. I would imagine we would end somewhere at 25 in L Zoom, roughly there. Ace 5 here versus the 3x and MP. It's just a fold. I was 3xing from every position and 2.5x in the button. I think that's given it 2 now. I think that's a reasonable strategy too. It's quite a small 3-bet here. I think I'm just gonna let it go though. Or can I let it go? I don't know if I can for that size actually. And happy folding here. I think we just go big here. We have the nut king, so we could even overbet actually. Yeah, perhaps overbet. So these are the tagging. It's pretty simple. Tag, lag, nit, aggressive fish, passive fish, weak, and zoom rig. I think I'm gonna squeeze here with king queen suited. Granted, the majority of the ones I use is weak and zoom rig and aggressive fish. Okay, king queen suited here. I think we can go either way here. Oh wow. I think we just get this in. I mean, he does have he does have the sets, fours and fives. He also has ace queen. Also has ace three of spades, ace two of spades, 6-7 of spades. So we will be just be getting this in. And he has ace queen. That's fair enough. And it's a nice turn. It's also a reasonable spot to check on the flop. Six seven suited on the button is one of those hands where I don't think you're giving up that much value and just folding it, especially with two unknowns in the blind. Ace king here with the ace of clubs. I think we can mix this. I think I'm just gonna go big though. 3 turn. I mean, in theory, we raise and then obviously value bet ace rivers and bluff spade rivers. But I think he has a lot of pair gut shots here, which just never folds. So yeah, this is, first is this size and it's just a raise. Don't want to go too big and scare him off. Bit confused. Oh, he's German. Germans tend to be nits. Okay. Well, that was fairly poorly played. I think yeah, I lost a lot of value there. Six, seven off in the small line. Again, I don't think you're losing that much EV and just folding it. It doesn't play that well. I wonder how many players we have in the pool. I'm just gonna fold this here versus this stack size. If he was 100, we would definitely consider calling or four betting. I think four betting being more profitable. It's so strong, the three bet, the big blind versus LP. It just gets so much respect. King Jack off is I pretty much flat at 100% versus button, with the exception of King Queen off, which can be three bet for value more frequently. You'll also, even though I play fairly exploitive, um, I don't have many leading ranges. I just find when I start leading and I start getting raised, I start leveling myself, and I'm just not comfortable with it. I will be raising this though for value. King 9 suited, if he was had a full stack, I would consider three betting this. Finland. This is one of these spots where you just have to three bet, and then when you get four bet, you just hate life. Oh, oh well, it was short. I hope we don't get put in a situation here. Yeah, fuck. This is pretty brutal because Keynes is a snap and Jacks is a fold. It's 150 big, so it's ranges have to be tight. I think this might just be a fold, honestly. Ace king. Well, he's gonna have ace king the majority of the time there. This is obviously not a great shove, but didn't expect much from someone who had only 30 big blinds. I generally play MTTs, but given this is a bankroll challenge, we're going to start off at 2NL Zoom, and hopefully once we get up there around $100, we'll start mixing in some MTTs. So this tends to be a flop where it favors out of position more than it does the three better. Even though I would three bet jacks on nines here and jack nine suited. I think we have two sizes here. We have the small size and then the large size, and I think I prefer the small size and for range. Okay. So he doesn't have that many king queens. In fact, I would almost say the majority of his range for Broadway range is always going to be suited here. So he has king queen. This is a bit crazy. I think we can check back here and evaluate river. $17. It's hard to find bluffs here. You know, 10-9 of diamonds, perhaps. The only problem is, does he bet the size of my king queen? I think we have to call. Not happy about it. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I'm just gonna see bet range small here. These are always difficult pots to play. Can just suit it small blind. I think you can open. But given I don't know anything, I think I'm just gonna fold. Ace five suited. I mean, this looks like a call, but versus a 3x, I don't think. No, yeah, this is just a fold. Ace five off plays terrible multi-way. It was ready a dubious call versus a 3x on the button. Ace 10 suited here. Squeeze or call? I think I will call. I think I. Oh, well, this is lovely. It's a lovely flop. I'm not gonna mess about here. I'm just gonna get it in if he's. I mean, he could be bluffing. Nice tens. Interesting here with the ace 10 suited. It's quite a small see, but we pretty much have all the equity here. I think I am gonna raise though. Not quite deep. Generally speaking, this is a better turn for me. I think I misplayed this. think I have to call. I'm not really sure what he has here. What he's trying to represent. But the problem is I blocked the not flush draw. The only hand. Jack 10. I'm not really sure what he has here. Jack 10, yeah, makes sense. It's sort of the only hand he can have. Exception maybe the King Queen set up with a backdoor flush draw. Queen Jack off under the gun. It's just a fold. I think I misplayed this ace 10 suited. I think I should just be I think I should just be betting turn. Ace Jack off. Generally a 3-bet versus button. The fact that he's 3x though makes me more inclined to call. Makes me think he's probably stronger. He is labelled as a weaker player, so I'm just going to call this time. And half pot on this flop doesn't seem that strong to me. Check raising. I think I probably should barrel turn here as well, considering how wide he floats. This kind of looks bluffy to me, but that's nothing I can really do with queen high. This is a pretty bad turn. I'm just going to check. Expect to lose here. Yeah, I think we just have to fold. I mean, he has to be turning the hand like king 10, ace 10 into a bluff here. I don't think people do that enough. I have now completed a challenge. What was that? Forever run out of time. Rude. So table 1, generally bad flop for my range. Generally you would want to be checking here. So let's check. I think versus this sizing, we should be check raising here. Big bucks deluxe. See this quite a lot. This these turn leads. We don't block diamonds. Ace jack off, small blind versus cut off is pretty high frequency 3-bet for me. King 10 here, being one of the weaker 10s in my range. So it'll be quite a high frequency check. And this will be a raise versus this small lead. These tend to be the types of boards where, depending on your strategy, you ever go small or large. That I would say ace jack being one of the combinations there where you can't check. 6-9 off. I think it's close. It's definitely a call for 2.5x. I think I'm just gonna let it go. What have we got here? Squeeze, jack 10 suited cutoff versus MP and under the gun. I think I am going to squeeze here. Like I said, I tend to opt for the more aggressive action. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll go to 9. I think this seems reasonable. Oh, I feel so rusty. Ace queen off here. Definitely a reasonable flop for his range. I think we can go either way with the c-bet. I think now we just try to check it down. Now we value bet. Ace jack here. This is the guy we were just in a hand with. Plays pretty poorly, 3-way, out of position. I am getting 3-1 though. I think I'm just going to fold though. I would much prefer actually just to 4-bet. than call here. That could be a mistake. Queen 9 here. I think we should float given the pot odds. And I think we check raise this turn. This is a pretty decent turn for our range. It is a limped pot, so ranges are quite wide. Ugh. Well, I don't even think he folds a 5 on this river, so I'm not gonna bluff it. Aces. No idea what's going on there. Oh, wow. That's a huge 4-bet. That is huge. Oh my god. Fuck. I think we're pretty crushed here most of the time. But I will try and flop a queen. Oh wow. It's not a bad flop. This guy is like he has nines, tens, jacks, ace king that he didn't 3-bet. This guy has ace king and kings plus possibly jacks. Okay, interesting. Okay. I think we're miles ahead here, but I mean, we still need to bet this. I think on a third. We could shove as well. This guy can have pocket eights with the 8 of hearts, pocket nines with the heart as well. I have no interest in bluffing this hand. I try to make these videos about an hour long. Generally, when I do play, I do tend to play quite long sessions. I can play 5-6 hour sessions. Pocket twos under the gun. I know that game theory wise, it's like a low frequency open, 2s, 3s, and 4s. With no weaker players, I think I'm just gonna fold. Six, seven here. This is a pretty strong board for the small blinds range. There's a lot of Broadway, a lot of suited connectors, pocket pairs. I think I'll check back here. Yeah. I mean, the hands that we are ahead of have so much equity, like King Queen, Queen 10, even Ace 10. I think game theory wise, it's possibly a call, but I'm just gonna fold. You really don't need to have next level strategy to beat these games. It's more of just a grind. Playing ABC style poker, and a lot of your value doesn't even come from you playing well. It comes from capitalizing on how weak the field is. Almost 100,000 online. $730 in this pool. Queen 5 off versus a min raise on the button. It's marginal, but it's hard to fold anything for a min raise versus LP. Just trying to check down my queen high here. Well, I should most certainly have bet that at some point. It's close. King 5 suited, I think, is like the bottom of the range open here. Especially with a weaker player. I mean, you can let this go. This is no big. Yeah. Now we're getting punished. Ace King here. 250. I mean, I think it's just a call. You don't want to be getting in difficult positions. Interesting flop. Checks back. Gonna 3-bet a wee bit smaller because he's shorter. I think I'm just gonna check down Ace King here. Tens. I generally wouldn't 3-bet tens versus early position. Aces here, though, this is a pretty wet board. We don't have the spade. He's quite short though. Kings, I think he gets in. Queens. I think we just have to stack off here though. if he goes with it. Ace three off and the cut off. No interest. I would my if it's suited, yes, but offsuit. My cutoff is F7 off from that position. Nines here. I think it's just a call, but especially with a weaker player in the big blind. I mean, anyone who understands ranges, see how compressed my ranges here. It's kind of easy to tell what I have. I think though we have to call one here at least, especially for this sizing. Half pot again. I think I'm just gonna fold, even though I think with the heart we're supposed to call one more, especially for half pot. But I just think the bet size is just to tell. He has a queen, and he's gonna check back the river. I just expect blues here. Behind that king queen, ace queen. Oh, well, that's interesting. Now he's representing the flush. I just don't think people bluff this spot enough to call, so it's probably not an overly bad hand to call considering we have the heart, but I don't even think he bets a queen for this size, so. But I think folding the turn there is fine too. Gonna make myself a coffee. This will be a double for me, especially on this turn. We do block his king queens, king jacks. I think we want to be going for the bigger size here too. He doesn't have many 6x. Get him to fold off his ace highs. Snap calls them. I think I am going to triple this. Fold them off pocket fives, pocket nines, pocket eights. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good triple barrel with that hand, given that we block a lot of his king X on the turn. Three six off. This play is terrible, even for him in raise. What, 51 minutes here, I think. I'll round it up at about an hour. A7 suited here. But if I'm gonna choose some suited A6, the 3-bet bluff, it's gonna be the wheel A6. Ace3 suited, Ace4, Ace5, Ace2. Just plays a lot better. I think I might go back to my original strategy of 3x in every position, apart from the button, 2.5. Nines here. I'm just gonna c-bet a third range. Is better, better turn for my range. Question is, do we want to start turn nines into a bluff here? I think we might have enough showdown value just to check it down, considering his 7x, his pocket threes, fours, fives, that has to call once on the flop. I don't know if we can value bet, block bet the river here, so, but I think he just checks down. Oh, he has jacks. Oh. I think he should be 3-betting that for value. Yeah, I think we'll go back to 3x in every position and 2.5x in the button. Not gonna lie, not sure what we do with ace 8 here on this board. So generally, if I'm not sure, I'm just gonna check. Ace 9 on the guns fold, even ace 10. I don't think it's that much EV opening ace 10 off under the gun. I'm just checking this down. I think 4-5 off. It's a bit of a loose defend versus a 2.5x. I think with all this GTO stuff that people are learning about, with two weaker players, I will open this. Queen suited. I mean, again, I generally 3-bet this versus the button, but he has 3x'd it. But I am going to 3-bet it this time. pretty much see bet third with range on all monotone flops. Um, that's an absolutely huge 4-bet. I'm just gonna fold. I think with all the GTO work that's being done, it's getting very confusing for a lot of micro stakes and lower stakes players to, you know, think three hands properly. I think it gets very confusing. It's a very unflattering profile picture. You can 3.5x open the small blind. I think that's fine too. This is like one of those borderline hands where you can go either way, I think, in terms of opening it. With a weaker player, I think it's fine. Pretty much anyone who's not sitting with a full stack pretty much gets the weak tag. Pocket fours here. I think I would raise if I had sevens plus. Just plays a lot better. I would much rather raise 6-5 suited than raise pocket fours. I try not to fast fold whenever I'm in the small blind because at 2-L you get quite a lot of limpers, and for half a big blind it is worth seeing the flop. King queen off here is pretty, like, the fold to 3-bet is so high. It's pretty much a 3-bet almost 100% frequency for me. Just gonna go a third with range here on this ace high. It's not a great spot because we have a hand that blocks his folding range. We expect him to fold king jack, king queen, king 10. So it's not great. But at the same time we also block his stronger ace x. So we could borrow one more time to get him off 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. Given he is a weaker player, I don't expect him to fold, so I'm just going to check and give up. But I think even double barreling there is not too bad. He also, given he is a weaker player, probably has more ace x in his range than what he should have. Because we expect him to call out of position with pretty much every suited Broadway that he opened, and considering we have king queen, we block it, so we block a lot of his folding range, and he blocks the river. I don't see us doing anything here. Hmm. Fives, I will ISO here. I will go to four. I'm actually quite unsure. These are spots where I'm not sure if I should be betting. I think then when we just get the river, we just check down and lose that pair. You know. I think we should be c betting here. Protection value. Interesting. So this is one of the spots where I level myself because if I bet, I'm pretty much representing 5x plus. So if I'm representing that, should I bet big or go small? Um, wow. Um, I think I just fold. We lose. They're all flushes and boats. Wow, this is nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold here. This is a interesting spot because I mean I really don't have any bluffs in a 4-bet range when I'm 200 big blinds deep, so I think I'm just gonna call and play post. I think we just get this in maybe. Perhaps call actually with the ace of diamonds. Oh, we'll win over an hour. Well, I think after this hand we'll call it. And on this turn I'm just shutting. I think we'll call it there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.